I need somebody help, not just anybody help. You know I need someone. Give me that.
You be talking like you like what I got.
Give me that.
I know you like it how I lead in the lack. You could be in the back saying give me.
Did you take any of my sodas?
Oh yeah, sorry. All mine were out.
Isn't that my sweatshirt?
Oh, and my laundry was dirty, so I just kind of borrowed yours. Oh, and this is your computer too. Sorry. It works better with my printer.
So do you have a roommate that steals your stuff a lot?
Unfortunately, I do.
Has it been anything extremely valuable?
No, just clothes, shirts, shoes, shorts.
Do you label your stuff to prevent this?
I label my Sprites in the fridge.
Do you find this at a great inconvenience for you? Has it ever taken a shirt that you really needed?
No, but I wish that I could be in a situation where I actually trust my roommate and not have to worry about who I live with.
Have you ever tried to talk to him about this problem?
Yeah, I mean, first, at the beginning of the second semester, we discussed it and it's still an issue, so.
Have you contacted your RA about it?
No.
Have you asked him to... Has he not given anything back yet?
No, he's getting it all back. This was at that time. He likes to take it.
Have you guys ever thought about it?
We've had some heated arguments about it. Never been fist fighting.
Okay, so some of the solutions that you have for the taker are you could put your initials on everything that you definitely don't want them to take, just so that there's no disputes on whether it's yours or not. You can buy something to lock everything up in if it really is necessary, but if you're locking it up, you probably shouldn't bring it to campus anyways, or you shouldn't have it out. Something else that you can do is, if it gets really bad, is you can go and talk to your RA. If your roommate is blowing off you asking them not to take anything, or boundaries like that.
Where you gon' need your own key, TGOD. No driving, no sleeping, live it up like it's the weekend. When the DJ play the right song, gon' drink, gon' party all night long. No driving, no sleeping, live it up like it's the weekend. When the DJ play the right song.
So you have a roommate that's always up at night, right?
Constantly.
What are some of the things she does that when she stays up?
She leaves the lights on. She Skypes her parents back at home and cries on the phone and screams. And she plays these really weird video games that she like yells at.
And does it keep you up at night?
Yes.
Have you ever tried to fix this problem?
I talked to my RA, but she doesn't really do much about it. My roommate doesn't really listen to anything anyone has to say.
Did you try talking to her directly?
Yes. She laughed at me and walked out of the room.
Have you ever tried to solve the problem yourself by like putting a sheet by your bed so the light wouldn't come in or anything?
Can't say I've ever tried that, but I mean, I don't know if that would help for with the screaming or anything.
Alright. Some solutions to a roommate that's up at all hours is to make sure you agree on an all lights off time of the night. So at that point, everything's turned off, you both go to bed. That way you know that you can both try to get some sleep that night. Also, set a time for quiet hours. This means that most lights are off, but people can still be working as long as they're quiet. Also, if you're trying to get some sleep, inform your roommate if they're being too loud so that you have an easier time trying to get sleep. And if this situation gets too out of hand and it starts affecting your grades, make sure you talk to your RA about the situation.
I got a hangover, whoa, I've been drinking too much for sure. I got a hangover, whoa.
Oh my god, tonight is so awesome. Look at me, huh? You gotta wake up. Why are you sleeping? You gotta wake up. Goldfish. Oh god, I'm gonna puke.
What just happened?
I
nights a week would you say your roommate comes back drunk?
It's usually like 4 or 5, like it's pretty bad.
When your roommate comes back drunk, does he break anything?
He's broken a lot of stuff actually. Like his chair's a little messed up. He's just like destroyed like papers and just like random things like coat hangers. He's even thrown those around.
Has any of that stuff been yours?
Occasionally, but he has replaced it most of the time. Some of the stuff is just kind of like I just let it go.
When he comes back, does he wake you up?
All the time. I'm usually like asleep at like 1 at the latest, maybe 2 o'clock if I'm staying up late. And he usually comes back at like 3 o'clock, just like slamming stuff around and just being really loud, playing loud music.
When he comes back drunk, is he violent?
Gotten some arguments. I mean, nothing's ever risen from the arguments, but been a couple times in my mind I thought I might have to go get the RA or something to calm things down.
Does he ever kick you out?
All the time.
So a couple ways to solve the drunken roommate issue is if you can talk to them while they're sober and make sense of ground rules and limitations as to like what they do, like when they come home, whether they should stay there or if they have other places to sleep. And also if things get really out of hand, you can always talk to your RA.
How messy is your roommate?
He's really messy. He leaves all of his clothes everywhere. He leaves all of his food from on the go, just all of his crumbs and whatnot. It's pretty much everywhere. His plates are everywhere. It's a mess. It's pretty bad.
Does it bother you that your roommate is this messy?
Yeah, it gets to me because I'm kind of a neat person, and to walk in and just have all this junk everywhere and trying to, you know, like, go around it. It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, it ticks me off.
Have you taken any steps to try and fix this problem?
No, because he's kind of a dick about it, and I just don't want to really piss him off.
When dealing with a messy roommate, one of the best things to do is to set up cleaning tasks for both of you to do on a weekly basis. That way, if the room starts to get messy, you can say, hey, have you done your cleaning tasks this week? And if they haven't, you can ask them politely to do them because you guys are both putting in the effort to keep your room clean. Another thing you can do is divide the room up. Say, hey, I don't want any of your stuff on my side of the room, just so that I can walk and keep my side of the room looking presentable, even if you don't want to keep yours clean. And if it really gets out of hand and stuff starts to smell, they should really notice that too, and they shouldn't have any reason not to clean up their side of the room. And you can always ask your RA to help you guys out.
What has happened when your roommate's girlfriend comes over?
Okay, so it's pretty weird when she comes over. She doesn't go to school and she lives in Michigan, so she stays for like a week and a half at a time, and she comes over maybe like once a month. So it's really frustrating, but usually they just lay on the couch and they just like touch each other and stuff, and then she sleeps all day, and she sleeps, I don't know if she sleeps all night because I don't stay there, but she'll sleep all day, and like I can't study while I'm there during the day, so I have to go across the hall and like study there, so it's really annoying. And she's really, really messy, and she smells weird, and it's like, can you just pick up your stuff?
What's the worst thing that's happened?
Well, the first time I had a chemistry test, and so she came over, and I had a chemistry test the next day, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stay up pretty late, and I'm gonna do my homework, and then I finally was like ready to go to bed. I felt like I had studied enough, and while I was sleeping, which I really wasn't sleeping, I was just trying to, they started to do stuff, and I heard them doing stuff, and I like took my phone out and flashed the light so they would like kind of know I was awake, and they didn't stop. So I just like ran out of there, and I was like almost crying. I was like, "Can I please sleep on your futon?"
Some solutions for a roommate that constantly has a significant other over is to make a code or some way to inform your roommate that you're bringing back someone so that this prevents an awkward situation. Also, during the day or before you begin school is set some rules for when a person can come over. For example, don't bring anyone over the night before an exam if you really need to study. Warn your roommate 24 hours in advance if you know you're going to bring someone back. Another solution is set limits on how long they can stay. Things get a little out of hand if someone's sleeping over for 5 days straight. Just make sure you inform your roommates how comfortable you are with how many days they stay. Also, set boundaries. If a roommate comes over, inform them of certain areas that are off limits for when they come over. This way, you know that your stuff can be protected in case anything happens. Also, if this situation gets way too out of hand, make sure you talk to your RA about the situation.
The show goes on all night till the morning. We dream so long. Anybody ever wonder when they would see the sun? Just